Hello everybody, my name is Ghost for Tapeface. Welcome to our second episode, yes, number 2 of our Just Build series. Today we are going to be building a rustic cabin. Here is our rustic cabin. It looks very cute. Okay, I am just going to be explaining the ins and outs of my thought process throughout the build in this episode. And this is going to be our first part of our first mini-series, which I am so excited to bring you guys. This mini-series, we are going to be building first this lovely cabin, and then secondly, we are going to be doing some terraforming and building trees around the cabin. Okay, without further ado, let's get straight into the build. Alright guys, so let's begin building the rustic cabin. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're gonna lay out just a frame of the house so that it makes it so much easier with the planning when you have your idea out just in a single solid color. Right here I have decided to use yellow wool for the color, and it really allows you just to see how your build is going to be, and it allows you to alter the shape without really any work put in. It's just so simple. I mean, it's literally just a yellow box right now, but it just allows you to understand the shape that you're going for. So I'm just gonna change right here because this would be a rather large wall, and usually large walls are hard to make interesting. Large flat walls are very hard to make interesting, so I just decided to bring it out a little. So now we're gonna just add on the roof really quickly. And the one problem with what I am doing right now is I didn't notice this at the time, but we are actually gonna have to entirely destroy that. But that's the great thing about putting a cast down, putting a frame down, is that, see, instead of building the roof and wasting my time doing that, I simply recognized the problem that after I got the walls up, I realized that how the roof is planned to look, it doesn't make sense. There's no reason for it to look like that. It won't fit right. So then I just go on to finishing the rest of the area, just planning more of the walls, the roof heights, just things like that. It's rather simple stuff. And then I'm just going to take a step back, and like everything, I always encourage you to take a step back from your builds and look at it. And then the resources that we have decided to use to build the cabin, we are going to use stripped spruce log, dark oak wood planks, and brown terracotta. These colors I decided looked very well together. So what I am doing right now is I am just testing the pillars that I am going to use, and I'm not sure exactly. I'm just going around, just testing how I feel. And then I'm going to step back and see, how does it look? And now what I decided to do is to have it fade from the top to the bottom. So it's going to fade from brown terracotta down to dark oak wood planks. Okay, as you see, we have the dark oak wood planks at the bottom, and it's not the best. How you see how I can back up and I can see this front wall. This front wall is so small. It doesn't look right. It's too little. So what I decided to do was bring out my pillars one forward and one to the side. Whenever you don't know what's wrong with the build, always try things like this. Try bringing stuff forward, moving it to the sides, trying to add a little bit more shape to it, a little bit more contrast, because I find that these really help just add a little more depth into that front wall when you have more things sticking out. And that is just what I have found. So now I'm just going to step back again. I'm going to look at the front wall. And then we're going to shift our attention to the left side of the house. Again, we're going to fix these pillars because these pillars, again, it's a little close and there's not a lot of room. So we're just going to bring these pillars out one. And I'm just doing the sort of fading again. And I don't want it to be blotches and stuff. I actually don't want to have it to where it's one color, because one color, it's good for certain things, but it's hard to really make it look nice when the wall is just one color. It adds a lot more subtle detail when you have multiple colors in the wall. Multiple textures is one thing. Textures, even if they're the same general palette, but the different textures really help you in your building of homes and just buildings and stuff like that. And this also applies to terraforming. Textures of the same color, just small alterations really help with giving some it helps bring some more contrast. It makes it a little more interesting to look at instead of just a blank color. And now I'm just working on this side wall, just going around doing the same coloring. And then we're just going to now work on the back wall really quickly. We're going to bring our pillar out. I like having everything be relatively the same, so you see how all of my pillars are one off from a corner. That is how I like keeping consistency in my building of homes. Keeping consistency is very, very important for this build that I'm doing right now. This one, that was my general idea, and I just am gonna stick with it, and then we're just gonna keep planning and just adding our pillars. We're just headed around. Now we're gonna do the back wall really quickly. The same contrasting between the different not palettes. I was just saying this, and now I can't remember it. I mean textures. That is what I'm going for. Different textures. That really helps. And we want it to fade in slowly, having a few blocks mix and match with each other. But we don't want it to be like blotches. If it's a blotch here and a blotch here of a texture, it makes everything clash together, and it looks like it was more thrown together. And since this wall is so big, it's not that big, but it just looks kind of bland. I mean, it's 6 blocks long, so it's just gonna actually I decided to leave it blank. I forgot about that. So here I'm just doing the texturing again and the color. So that wall, it's not that big, so I understand that. It's actually reasonable to be blank. We don't need to change everything because we don't want to over detail. Some people really like over detailing. Well, but to them it's not over detailing, but like adding a lot of details. And I like it more simple. I don't want to not know where to look. And I like how you can look at this house as a whole and just appreciate it. That was the goal that I'm going for. So right here, we're putting in our biggest window. Yes, it's gonna be a 3 long and 2 high, and then we're just gonna add a few blocks here and there so that there's not too many dark oak planks everywhere. Now we're just gonna finish this wall. In this little area right here, I wanted a lot of light to come in because I just wanted a lot of natural light. So I decided to put windows on every single side. For the roof, we just decided on something simple, just spruce wood and dark oak wood, and I just put together a little time lapse of me building the roof. So enjoy the time lapse. Okay guys, so now let's take a little look through the house. Okay, so we're gonna start right to our right. I just put a little chair down with a coffee table, flower pot, little poppy on top. To the left, we have in this little outlet right here, a nice white couch. To our right, we have our beautiful little kitchen. This sink is so simple. I love making these sinks. Cauldron, bucket of water, and tripwire hook. So simple. And then just polished diorite slabs for the table, for the countertops. Right here is our table. It is a really simple design. We just start by placing 2 oak stairs, placing a oak fence post, and brown carpet on top. You can use any stairs, any fence post, and any carpet color, and it is unlimited combinations. It is awesome. Then right here in the center, we have a little carpet. I decided to put this carpet here just to lighten it up in here. As you see, our coloring around this entire thing is full of brown and darker colors. And I thought we need to bring in some light furniture. That's why white, lighter, very lighter too. This is just a little dark, but that's okay. But just to add some contrast in color. And that's why I wanted to put this carpet down, just to add some color. Now, we're gonna go up the stairs. I mean the ladder, to our second story. And again, I use this stone brick here because I wanted to lighten things up a little. So we start, here's our little bed area and some bookshelves on either side. We got our little table over here and a chair over here. This is our loft up here. And then we just used our simple lighting design of lanterns. Now we're gonna head back downstairs. Okay, this is one thing that I would like to emphasize. So, right here, this is how tall this area was between this side and this side. I thought it was a little too tall and really just, it looked out of place. So I spruced it up a little by using stripped spruce logs as sort of a beam to hold up that wall, and then these just to create a little archway, some dark oak wood stairs just to create a little archway, and then just put a little lantern right there just to add some lights. Okay, and this is the inside. Let's just take one more look around. Very, very nice. Overall, I am very happy with how this turned out. We're gonna head outside now. Okay, now outside we wanted our colors to fade into each other. So we have a dark oak wood planks and brown terracotta. So up here we have it mostly brown terracotta, and we have it slowly fade into our dark oak wood planks. that is the style that we went for right here. Up here, it's a little more heavy on the dark wood planks, but overall, I think it's okay. Now, we're gonna back up just a little. As you saw before, I was messing around right in the beginning of the video with a few designs like this, or like this, and I decided to bring out our wood planks out here like this. Actually, wood pillars. It's just when you bring a certain aspects of the build forward to the sides, it adds more depth. So we have 3 layers of depth right here. We have the overhang from our roof, we've got our pillars in a little space right here, and then we have our back wall, and it really adds in a nice contrast. Now we are going to move to the left. This side, this wall would have originally been a rather boring and blank wall, so what I decided was to just add this little outlet. With this outlet, we just have a less steep roof, just to add some change from up here, but we use the same colors. Up here, we make it easily defined that this is a second story by completely using a different block color. Now we're gonna just move around. So now we're gonna talk about the roof really quickly and these windows. These windows are really easy to build and they really spruce up things. For instances such as when I would have had such a big blank space right here. If this roof was from here all the way up to here at just this normal spruce wood color, it would have looked strange. So I decided to add in these nice windows, and I think that this really helps tie everything together. Now we're gonna go onto this side. Right here we have another little outlet using the same style of the roofing technique, with how we have our trim and then our actual roof block, and then we have our pillars on the sides. Right here, I would like to point this out. This is I had a little problem right here, because if I would have brought this trim out like this, now I would have had to done something like that for the block to actually sit there. So I decided just leave it like that, and I think that that is okay. Now again, throughout the entire house, I have this sort of fade pattern now, from dark oak to brown terracotta, all throughout the house, except around certain windows. Right here it's like that, right here it's not the same, right here I have it to where it's all over the place. I just wanted to change it up a little, and again right here. See how I have brown terracotta way at the bottom, right here, and then up here again, just to give it a little bit of change. I didn't want it to be just the same thing over and over. Okay, and that is the end of our build. So we're going to take one more look around the house, making sure that everything is to our liking. Looking good. I think that this build looks rather good. And that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. This video took me so many tries on so many takes. It was just, I was having such a hard time. I had the words that I wanted to say, but I just couldn't get them out. It was so frustrating. I hope you guys enjoy this video because it has taken me so long to put it together. So, we are just going to go over a few more things. My name is Ghost for Tapeface. As said before, I'm just going to review that one more time. Remember that name? Because you guys like the video, right? Okay, so I record on a PS4 and I'm using just a normal headset, and I'm just going to be using Share Factory most likely to be editing my videos. So I apologize for the lower quality, but I do not have some fancy computer or anything like that. And I just thought you have to start somewhere. So we are just gonna look at the house one more time, and I am so excited to tell you guys that this is not it. We are coming back in a second video, and we are going to be doing some terraforming around this house. I am super excited for that. So please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, you may get ghosted.